I killed my best friend with my bare hands on a rainy Tuesday in October. Right there, in the parking lot of the old mill where we'd buried our secrets as kids. His blood mixed with the downpour, turning the asphalt into a slick, accusing mirror that reflected my face, twisted, unrepentant, alive for the first time in years. And as his last gasp bubbled out, whispering my name like a curse, I realized the revenge I'd craved wasn't sweet. It was just the bitter prelude to the real storm brewing inside me. The camera was Grandpa's last gift, tucked away in a dusty shoebox under his deathbed like some forgotten relic from a life he never fully explained. I'd always thought he was just a grumpy Korean War vet who chain-smoked camels and fixed carburetors for a living in our Rust Belt town of Milford, Pennsylvania. But when the lawyer handed me that box after the funeral, his will as sparse as his stories, I felt the weight of something heavier than regret. Inside, wrapped in oil-stained rags, was a battered Leica M3, the kind Hemingway might have slung over his shoulder in Paris. Film still loaded. Or so I hoped. One roll, 36 exposures, black and white Tri-X, probably expired decades ago. I didn't know then that developing it would crack open the vault of my family's lies wider than Hurricane Katrina flooded New Orleans. My name's Jack Harlan, and if you think small-town America is all apple pie and Friday night lights, you're dead wrong. Milford's the kind of place where the steel mills coughed their last in the 80s, leaving behind opioid ghosts and strip malls that sell dreams on clearance. I grew up here, bouncing between my divorced folks' trailers, mom slinging burgers at Denny's, dad chasing bar tabs at the VFW. Tommy Ruiz was my anchor, the Puerto Rican kid from the wrong side of the tracks who shared my lunch money and my first stolen six-pack. We were brothers, blood-sworn at 12 under the rusted trestle bridge, promising to have each other's backs till the grave. But graves have a way of digging themselves in this town. The rain hadn't let up since Grandpa's casket hit the mud that morning, turning the cemetery into a sopping mess of black umbrellas and half-hearted condolences. He was a good man, Jack, folks murmured, clapping my shoulder like it fixed anything. Good man? Grandpa Harlan barely spoke after Grandma split in '72, taking her laugh and half his soul with her. He raised me summers in that shotgun shack off Route 30, teaching me to fish the Monongahela and ignore the bruises Dad left on Mom. Life's a negative, kid, he'd rasp, exhaling smoke rings. Develop it right, or it comes out all wrong. I drove his '78 Ford pickup back to my apartment, a one-bed walk-up above the laundromat that smelled like bleach and broken promises, clutching the shoebox like it was his ashes. Tommy called twice on the way, his voice crackling through the Bluetooth. Hey?
Man.
You need me? Funeral sucked, but I'm here. I grunted something non-committal. Tommy'd been my rock since we torched that abandoned warehouse at 16, high on cheap weed and teenage stupidity. Fire department called it arson, we called it therapy. No charges stuck, small-town favoritism, but it bonded us. Or so I thought. By midnight, the Leica was on my kitchen table, under the harsh glare of a bare bulb. I dabbled in photography in high school, darkroom rat in the AV club, dreaming of National Geographic spreads instead of community college dropout. The camera felt heavy, machined brass cool against my palms, like holding a loaded .45. I popped the back, film intact, edges curled like ancient scrolls.
3x400.
Pushed maybe to 1600 if the light was shit.
No dates.
No notes, just ghosts on emulsion. I didn't have a darkroom anymore, but Milford had Sal's photo lab on Elm Street, a holdout from the film era wedged between a vape shop and a bail bondsman. Sal was a grizzled Italian in his 70s. Suspenders straining over a gut earned from cannoli and cynicism. Harlan's boy, he wheezed when I pushed through the door next morning. Rain dripping from my Carhartt jacket. Your grandpop owed me $20 from '89. This square it. I slid the Leica across the counter. Develop this. Black and white. Standard process. Rush it. Sal's bushy brows knit as he inspected the roll. Old bird. Might be fogged to hell. Why bother? Because it's the last thing he left me.
Lie.
Truth was, the weight in my chest since the funeral felt like underexposed film. Murky, waiting for chemicals to reveal the pain. He shrugged, quoting me $50. Pick up tomorrow. Don't hold your breath. I spent the day numb, nursing black coffee at the diner, staring at the gray Monongahela churning past. Tommy texted, beers later? I typed sure but deleted it. Something itched under my skin, a premonition like the static before a lightning strike. Grandpa's words echoed, develop it right. Evening found me at the mill ruins, chain-link fence sagging like an old man's spine. We used to dare each other to sneak in, Tommy and me, hearts pounding amid the skeletal girders where steel once screamed. Last time was 5 years back, after Dad OD'd in his trailer, heroin-laced fentanyl. The coroner said. Tommy held me as I dry heaved, promising, we got this.
Jack.
Family now. Family. The word tasted like rust. Sal's call came at dusk. Harlan. Get down here.
Now.
His shop smelled of developer and despair. Trays bubbling under red safe lights. Sal's face was ashen. Lips pressed thin like he'd seen a poltergeist. Your role. Jesus.
Kid.
It's not just fogged.
It's.
He thrust a stack of 8 by 10 glossies at me, hands trembling enough to rattle the enlarger. The first shot, Grandpa. Younger. Maybe 40. Grinning wolfish in a pinstripe suit. Arms slung around a stranger, a sharp-featured guy with a pencil mustache. Both toasting shot glasses in a smoky bar. Nothing special. Second. Same duo. Now outside a brick warehouse by the river. Night shadows long. The stranger handing Grandpa a fat envelope. Bribe vibes. But hey. 70s America. Third. My gut twisted. Grandpa and the stranger, wait. That jawline. Those eyes, dragging a body toward the Monongahela's edge. Limp. A hooded figure. Face obscured. Blood trailed from a gash on the neck, stark white against the mud. Keep going, Sal muttered, lighting a Chesterfield with shaky fingers. Gets worse. Fourth, the body unhooded mid-haul. A woman, mid-30s. Dark hair matted, eyes wide in frozen terror. Grandma Harlan. My grandma. Throat slit ear to ear, courtesy of a straight razor glinting in Grandpa's grip. I staggered back, photos scattering like confetti at a funeral. This can't. It can, Sal snapped, voice like gravel. Your grandpop was no saint. Came in here once. 68 maybe, ranting about loose ends. Never figured. He trailed off, eyes darting to the door like cops might bust in. Grandma hadn't split. She'd been murdered. By her own husband. And buried in the river like yesterday's trash. The world tilted.
Bilerising.
Tommy's face flashed his easy smile. His alibis.
No. Not yet.
but the seed planted betrayal's first bitter root. I snatched the prince, tossed cash, bolted into the storm. Rain lashed my face as I floored the ford toward the mill.
Why now?
Why leave me this? Grandpa's ghost laughed in the wind. Develop it right.
Kid.
That night, I pored over the stack by flashlight in my truck, engine idling to drown the thunder. Shot 12. Grandpa and the stranger, identified now as Vic Langford. Local union boss turned real estate shark, standing over a fresh-dug pit in the woods. Inside, not just Grandma, but a kid. Small, maybe 8, curled fetal. My Uncle Tommy. Not my Tommy, Grandpa's brother. Vanished before I was born. Family lore said he ran off to California, chasing starlets. Shot 15. Vic holding a shovel. Grandpa snapping the pick like a trophy. Evidence.
Blackmail?
Insurance? By shot 24. Rage boiled over.
Grandpa.
Post-murder. In a motel room with Vic, divvying cash from a briefcase. But the kicker, a third face in the shadows, young.
Familiar.
Tommy Ruiz. By Tommy, barely teen, counting bills with a grin that said he'd sell his soul for a cut. Betrayal hit like a gut punch. Tommy knew. All these years, my brother had known Grandpa iced his own family and pocketed the hush money. And he'd lied to my face. Every VFW toast. Every late-night confession. I revved the engine. Tires spitting gravel toward Tommy's split level on Oak Hill. Lights on. His Harley in the drive. He answered the door in sweats. Cores in hand. Confusion melting to fear as I shoved the photos in his chest. Jack, what the foo? You knew, I snarled, voice low thunder.
Grandma.
Uncle Tom. Grandpa's razor party.
And you.
You were there? His eyes flicked, guilty glitch, before the mask slipped. It was business.
Mun.
Vic's old man. I decked him, fist-cracking jaw like rotten timber. He crumpled, beer foaming on the carpet. Business? That's my blood. You son of a bitch. He spat red, scrambling up. Listen, your grandpa owed Vic big gambling debts. Union shakedowns. Grandma found out, threatened to snitch. The kid. Collateral. I was just a runner.
Jack.
12 years old. Liar. Another swing. But he ducked, countering with a wild haymaker that split my lip. We tumbled into the foyer, grunting beasts, furniture splintering. His wife screamed from upstairs, Lena, his high school sweetheart, oblivious till now. I pinned him, knee on throat. Why hide it? Why me? Because Vic runs this town, he gasped. Still does. Hotels. Council seats. You think the cops touch him? I protected you. Idiot. Kept you out. Protected. The word ignited something primal. I saw Grandma's eyes in the print, pleading. Uncle Tom's tiny hand. My fist rose.
Fell.
Again. Till his nose pulped and he went limp. Sirens wailed distant. Lena's sobs. I fled into the night. Photos clutched like talismans. Blood on my knuckles mixing with rain. Revenge wasn't a plan, it was a freight train, and I was tied to the tracks. But as I hit the highway, phone buzzing, unknown number. We need to talk. I realized the role wasn't done developing. Grandpa's secrets were just the fixer, The enlarger waited for Vic Langford's empire to burn. Dawn broke bloody over Milford. The kind of October light that turns the river to molten rust and makes every shadow accuse. I holed up in a no-tell motel off I-76. The Liberty Inn where truckers bang hookers and regrets. Room 7. Peeling wallpaper. Bed sagging like my conscience. The photos spread across the comforter like a crime scene diorama. Tommy's face in that last shot, boyish greed, stared back. Mocking. I'd left him breathing. Barely. But Lena's 911 call would have painted me the villain. Assault on a decorated vet? Tommy did 2 tours in Fallujah. Came home with Purple Hearts and PTSD that made him jump at fireworks. The irony curdled. Hero abroad. Judas at home. Coffee from the vending machine tasted like battery acid. But it sharpened the edges. Vic's text burned in my pocket. We need to talk. No number. Just a burner ping. I should have ditched the phone. But curiosity's a junkie itch. Instead, I scrolled Grandpa's old contacts on the Lycus case, scratch numbers. One labeled VL. Emergency. Dialed it. Voicemail, gravelly baritone. Langford Enterprises. Leave it after the beep.
Beep.
This is Jack Harlan. You killed my family. We're talking. All right, my terms.
Click.
Consequence loomed, but so did clarity. The role's narrative pieced together. 67. Vic's old man, a corrupt alderman, launders mob money through the mills.
Grandpa.
Fresh from Korea. Muscle for hire. Falls in deep. Grandma discovers the books. Confronts him. Vic, ambitious lieutenant, greenlights the hit to protect the racket. Kidnaps her and little Tom from a playground picnic, innocence to silence the wife. Dumps in the pit. Covers with quicklime and lies. Grandpa's guilt? The photos screamed it. Post-murder shots showed him boozed up. Vic placating with envelopes. But shot 30, Grandpa alone. Like a 2I. Framing Vic mid-meeting with feds. Wiretap bust. Blackmail leverage. Stashed for a rainy day. That day being his deathbed. Gifting me the sword. Vic called back at noon. Harlan. Bold move.
Kid.
Meet me. The mill.
Sundown.
Come alone. Or Tommy eats lead.
Click. Nonigo gustiastin.
I pocketed a .38 from Grandpa's lockbox, cold steel comfort, and hit the road. Milford's decay hit harder in daylight, boarded windows. Faded shop local, banners mocking the ghost town vibe. Opioids had gutted it worse than the mills, folks nodding out in alleys. Dreams deferred to despair. The mill loomed like a colossus corpse. Chainlink topped with razor wire.
Graffiti tags screaming fuckery ergonomics.
I parked in the lot where I'd later kill Tommy. Irony's cruel foreplay, and slipped through a gash in the fence. Girders groaned in the wind. Pigeons cooing dirges. Vic waited in the old foreman's office. Plate glass shattered. His silhouette broad against the rusted safe. He was 70 now. Silver fox in a Burberry trench. Diamond cufflinks glinting like shark teeth. Face like weathered granite. Eyes cold as Lake Erie steel. Jack Harlan. You look like your granddad. Same haunted pup eyes. I leveled the .38. Steady despite the tremor in my soul. Cut the nostalgia. You murdered my grandma. My uncle. For what? Pennies on the dollar? He chuckled. Low rumble echoing off concrete. Pennies? Try millions.
Son.
Mills were bleeding, we saved jobs. Your grandma, God rest her, poked the bear. Loose lips sink ships. Harlan family motto. Liar. I advanced, gun kissing his forehead. Photos don't lie. You held the shovel. Vic's gaze didn't flinch. Guilty as charged. But your grandpop swung the blade. Razored her throat, quick. Almost merciful.
The boy, Messier,
Screamed like a stuck pig. He paused, savoring my recoil. You gonna shoot? Here? Cops on payroll say accident. Tragic fall. Rage surged. Finger whitening on trigger. But his next words froze me. Tommy told me you'd crack. Said you were soft. Like your dad. But I see fire. Join me, Jack. Empire needs fresh blood. Join? The offer slithered. Tempting in its blasphemy. Vic's reach. Half the council. The DA. Even a sheriff who'd buried Dad's report as accidental.
power,
Vengeance from inside. I lowered the gun an inch. Why me? Because you're the ghost. Last Harlan. Expose me.
you expose the town.
We all drown. He stepped closer. Cologne cloying as deceit. Or rule. Your call. The mill creaked. A beam sagging like my resolve. Tommy's plea echoed. Protected you, but protection's a cage. I holstered. Decision crystallizing. Infiltrate. Dismantle.
Deal.
But cross me. You join Grandma in the pit. Vic grinned. Wolfish. Welcome to the family, kid. That night. Over steak at his club, the Monongahela Grill. Mahogany walls dripping old money. I learned the web. Vic's legit front. Langford Properties. Flipping mill ruins into lofts for Pittsburgh yuppies. Underbelly protection rackets. Fentanyl pipelines from Philly ports. Council bribes greasing zoning for his empire. Grandpa's photos? Insurance, Vic called them. Your old man held M like a flush. Dad? Another thread unraveled. Vic slid a dossier across the linen. My father's OD wasn't clean. Staged. After he skimmed Vic's take from a mill demolition kickback. Dad bore the fall for Tommy, my Tommy, who'd cooked the books. Fled the heat. Betrayal layered like double exposure. Dad's ghost. Silent enabler.
Tommy,
The snake in my garden. Vic's phone buzzed. He glanced.
smirked.
Lena's pressing charges. Tommy's in the ICU. Jaw wired. Says you're unhinged. Unhinged. I laughed.
Bitter.
Tell him healing prayers from the family. As I drove back. Vic's shadow-dogged, tail car. Unmarked Crown Vic. Paranoia bloomed. At the motel. I torched the photos in the tub. Ashes swirling like regrets. But one frame I'd pocketed. Tommy. Adult now. Shaking Vic's hand at a fundraiser. Caption in Grandpa's scrawl on the contact sheet. Judas 2.0. Sleep evaded. Dreams splicing razor slashes with mill flames. Morning brought a package. Burner phone. Key to a safe house in the hills. Lay low. Learn the ropes. Inside. Cash stack. .45 suppressor. And a note. Prove loyalty. Hit the snitch. Snitch named Riley. Ex-union hacks spilling to feds. Address in Braddock. Mill Town Corpse. I geared up. Heart pounding like a darkroom timer. First blood for the beast. Riley's trailer squatted in a weed-choked lot. Christmas lights tangled year-round. He answered wary. Bathrobe gaping over a beer gut. Who? The .45 whispered. 2 taps, center mass. He folded, eyes glazing surprise. No words. No plea. Just wet thump on linoleum. I rifled his desk. USB drive. Fed memos on Vic stocks.
Pocketed it.
Torched the place with his own Zippo. Flames licked trailer siding as I peeled out, acrid smoke veiling my flight. Sirens wailed distant. I'd bought time. But in the rear view, Milford shrank. A beast stirring. Revenge? Or damnation? Vic's empire glittered. But cracks showed, and I was the hammer. The safe house was a A-frame cabin in the Laurel Highlands, pine-scented isolation 30 miles from Milford's rot. Vic's generosity, stocked fridge with IPAs and ribeyes, satellite TV looping ESPN, a wall safe for the USB. But the real gift was the view, endless ridges rolling into Appalachia, a reminder that America's underbelly hid in plain sight, where coal barons once ruled, and now fentanyl kings like Vic prayed. I arrived at dusk. Ford crunching gravel. The .45s weighed a new appendix on my hip. Loyalty test passed. Riley's obit would hit the trib as drug-related. Vic's cleanup crew handling the narrative. Phone buzzed. Vic. Clean work. Harlan. Feds'll chase ghosts. Meet the inner circle tomorrow. Dress sharp. Inner circle. The word evoked smoky backrooms. Not the VFW poker nights of my youth. I showered off the day's grime, gunpowder tang, Riley's blood faint under nails, and crashed on the leather sectional. Dreams fracturing, Grandma's throat gaping like a second smile, Dad's syringe arm twitching, Tommy's jaw unhinging in silent scream. Morning fog clung like guilt as I descended to Milford. Vic's club again. But this time the private dining room. Oak paneling. Crystal decanters. Portraits of robber barons glaring judgment. 3 men waited. Cigars curling blue haze. Vic rose, clapping my back. Gentlemen. Jack Harlan next gen. First, Eddie the Fix Kowalski. Mid-50s. Ex-cop turned PI. Guts spilling over his Sam Brown belt. Eyes like boiled eggs behind aviators. Heard you bagged Riley. Nice touch with the fire. Covers the powder burns. Second, Marco Ruiz. Ruiz. Tommy's cousin. Lean Latino in a silk shirt. Gold chain winking. Tattoos creeping from cuffs. Sinaloa script. Prison yard art. Familia, he drawled. Handshake crushing. Tommy's blood. Vic's enforcer. The web tightened. Third, Lena. Tommy's Lena. My Lena once, high school crush. Prom queen who chose stability over my wild heart. Now perched elegant in pencil skirt. Blonde waves pinned. Lips red as accusation. Jack, she breathed. Voice steel-wrapped silk. You look. Well. Shock rooted me. What the? Vic chuckled. Lena's my CFO. Keeps the books balanced. Mouth shut. Knew about the photos. Tommy confessed after you tuned him up. Betrayal's knife twisted deeper. Lena's eyes held no remorse. Just calculation. He swore it was buried. Like your grandma. I lunged, but Eddie's hand clamped my wrist. Easy. Hotshot. We're all family here. Family. The word poison now. Lunch dragged, ribeye bleeding on china. Small talk veiling sharks. Marco boasted dock runs. Philly boys send pure snow. We cut it for the hills, while Eddie droned surveillance logs. Lena's pen scratched figures. Her gaze flicking mine. Pity? Desire? Tommy's out tomorrow, she murmured aside. Wired shut, but alive. Thanks to Vic. Vic steered to business, expansion. Casinos in the works, Namaquilin model.
But ours.
Fed sniffing. Need diversions. My role, muscle with a camera eye. Snap the skeletons. Jack. Like your grandpop. Post-meal. Eddie tailed me to Tommy's hospital. Allegheny General. Sterile halls reeking antiseptic lies. Tommy in 412. Monitors beeping dirge. Face swathed like a mummy. One eye swollen purple peeking. Jack. You bastard. I pulled a chair. Voice low. Family reunion. Lena's in deep. His good eye widened, then narrowed. She's smart. You were always the dumb one, charging in like John Wayne.
Why? Tommy?
Dad took the fall for you. Skimmed to cover your ass.
He wheezed laugh.
Pain-laced. Your old man was weak. Vic offered me the out, blame him. Walk free. I took it. Survival.
Hermano.
Survival. I leaned in, breath hot on his bandages. Grandpa's photos. You were there, counting blood money at 12. Kid shit, he rasped. Vic's old man made me. Said it'd make a man of me.
Pause.
Wet cough. But yeah, I knew about the pit. Dug it myself one summer. Redecorating the woods. Your grandma's necklace washed up once, gold locket with your dad's baby pick. Buried it deeper. The room spun. Necklace. I'd seen it in Grandma's photos. Cherished heirloom. Tommy's casual horror cracked something primal. You're dead to me. Already was, he slurred. For drip blurring words. Vic'll use you up.
Jack.
Like he did your grandpop. Cancer ate him, caused guilt. Left you the camera to spite me, knew it'd blow us all. Nurses bustled. I fled. Eddie's tail in the mirror like a noose. Back at the safe house. I cracked the USB, Riley's files. Gold mine, wire transfers to council hacks. Photos of Vic's yacht hosting senators.
Coke dusted.
Enough for Rico. But planting it meant going rogue. Evening brought Lena. Unannounced. Audi purring up the drive. Her in yoga pants and cashmere. Bottle of Glenlivet swinging. Vic sent me. Bond with the new guy. I barred the door. Bond? You chose this cesspool. She pushed past. Pouring doubles. Choices? Tommy proposed at 20. Knocked me up at 22. Vic bailed us house. Harley. What's your excuse? Jack. Bouncing checks at the plant. Chasing ghosts. Ghosts like my murdered family? Her laugh tinkled.
Sharp.
Grandma was a drunk. Jack. Screaming fits. Chasing shadows. Found Vic's ledger. Sure. But she was collateral in a bigger game. Unions versus Mills. Reagan crushed us all. She sipped. Eyes liquid. I loved you once. But you were broken. Dad's suicide note still in your wallet. Not suicide, I snapped. Vic staged it. Does it matter? She closed the gap. Fingers tracing my jaw. We're all stained. Fuck the past. Rule it. Temptation flared. Her scent. Vanilla and vice. Memories of backseat fumblings. But Tommy's eye haunted. Judgmental. I shoved her back. Get out. She straightened. Mask firm. Your funeral. Harlan. Vic doesn't forgive rejects. Door slammed. Silence roared. I loaded the Leica with fresh film. Digital be damned. Analog lied less. Snapped her taillights receding. Exposure 1/60th. F/8. Truth in grain. Night deepened. I plotted. Infiltrate deeper. Gather proof. Burn it down. But doubt not. Was I avenger or apprentice devil? Vic's web ensnared. And Lena's whisper lingered, rule it. Dawn's first light caught a deer in the crosshairs. Frozen. I spared it. Not all kills need pulling trigger.
Yet.
Vic's empire pulsed from a nondescript warehouse on the Monongahela's south bank. Langford Logistics, trucks rumbling, semis loaded with steel scrap. Actually fronts for product drops. My initiation. Shadow Marco on a Philly run. .45 holstered. Leica slung like a tourist toy. Dawn departure. Fog thick as complicity. Marco's F-150 growling diesel. He chain-smoked Marlboros. Reggae tone thumping low. Tommy says you're solid, he grunted. Merging onto 376. But family tests family. I nodded. Window down. Wind whipping confession. Ruiz blood. Prima. Tommy's the golden boy, Marines. Medals.
Me?
Streets. He flexed tattooed forearm. Virgin de Guadalupe inked over bullet scar. Vic pulled me from juvie. 95 riots. Gave purpose. Purpose. The word mocked as billboards blurred. Yinzer's hawking Primanti brothers. And Steelers gear. Philly loomed. Skyline jagged. A concrete jungle where East Coast syndicates bartered with Appalachian rubes like us. The drop, North Philly row houses. Boarded like Milford's ghosts. But alive with corner boys in hoodies slinging dime bags. Marco's Connect, Tito. Gold-toothed Cuban in a wife-beater. Escalade idling. Hugs. Backslaps. Duffels swapped, snow for green. I snapped candids. Exposures capturing the exchange. Grainy proof of the vein. Artist? Huh. Tito eyed the Leica. Old school. Respect. Marco laughed. Jack's got eye for skeletons. Back hall heavier. Tension electric. State trooper lights flashed on the turnpike. Routine stop. Marco palmed a C-note. Charm offensive. Just hauling scrap. Officer. Steelers game tomorrow. You a fan? Badge pocketed it. Waved us through. Bribe as American as the game itself. See. Marco crowed. Vic's reach. Tentacles everywhere. Milford by midnight. Warehouse bay swallowing the load. Eddie waited. Clipboard in hand. Logging inventory. Lena too. Heels clicking ledger tallies. Her glance lingering, challenge or invitation. Vic emerged from shadows. Approving nod. Good run.
Jack.
A word. His office. Wall of monitors. CCTV feeds of docs. Clubs. Even Tommy's hospital room. You're in. But loyalties earned daily. He slid a folder. Target dossier. Councilman Hale. Pushing anti-corruption bill. Leaks say he's got Riley's ear. Had. Hale. Silver-haired patrician. Ex-prosecutor turned pole. Yacht club set. Make it look like heart attack, Vic instructed. Pills and a scotch. Clean. Murder as memo. I pocketed the Klonopin vial. Nausea rising. And if I say no? Vic's smile didn't reach eyes. Then Tommy's next bedmate's a slab. Drive to Hale's McMansion in Fox Chapel, Pittsburgh's Gold Coast. Gated enclaves mocking Milford's decay. I scaled the wall. Infrared goggles from Eddie cutting night. Poolside lounge. Hale in robe. Tumbler, sweating condensation. Jazz crooning Coltrane. Wife asleep upstairs.
Kids at pen.
He startled at my shadow. Who? Sho. .38 silenced. But no bang, suppressor hush. Vix sends regards. Recognition dawned horror. Langford? Tell him the bill dies. Too late. I forced the pills down his gullet. 3. 4. Choking with tumbler chaser. He spasmed, clutching chest. Eyes bulging accusation.
You.
Harlan, your father. Dad's name froze me. What about him? Gambling. Owed Vic. I covered. For Tommy.
Gasp.
Kid's dirty. Always was. Hale slumped. Pulse fluttering erratic under my fingers. Heart attack scripted. I arranged the scene. Empty vial in his safe. Anonymous tip to PD. Suicide over scandal. Exiting. Floodlights bathed me. Security detail. Alerted. Shots cracked. .38 barking back. Winged one. Dropped another. Adrenaline symphony. I vaulted fence. Tires screeching escape. Bullet grazed my bicep. Hot kiss. But free. Back at safe house. Stitches from a first aid kit. Blood seeping gauze. Phone Vic. Sloppy. But effective. Hale's DOA. Clean your mess.
Sloppy.
The word festered. Hale's gasp echoed, your father, unraveling more. I hit the liquor. Glenlivet burning questions. Dad's suicide. Pills? Yes. But staged? Tommy's skim. Hale's cover, collusion cancer. Lena arrived pre-dawn. Med kit in hand. Let me see. Her touch clinical. Needle threading suture. Breath warm on skin. Vic's pissed about the guards. Says you're hot-headed. Hot-headed. I winced as needle bit. Hale knew about Dad. Said Tommy's the rot. She paused. Eyes down. Truth's a mosaic. Jack. Pieces fit ugly. Confession spilled. Post-Tommy proposal. She discovered his schemes, small at first. Vic's take from Doc heists. Confronted him. He begged. Vic'll kill us. She patched the books. Earning Vic's eye. CFO gig.
Power.
Better than welfare mom. And me? Bitter edge. You left. Jack. After Dad. Joined the service, sandbox tour. Came back hollow. Marines. Yes, 2 years. IED scars on psyche. Not skin. Discharged '09.
Adrift.
Tommy offered anchor. Stability. Anchor. Chains. More like. Her fingers lingered on my chest. Tracing dog tags. Vic sees potential. But you're fracturing. Then help me shatter it. Impulsive. I pulled the USB from safe. Dangled it. Riley's files. Planum. Eyes widened. Fear.
Thrill.
Suicide.
Jack.
That's treason to the family. Family? Laugh barked. Grandpa's blade. Tommy's shovel. Your ledger. That's family? She kissed me then. Fierce. Tasting salt and betrayal. One night. Then decide. Dawn found us tangled. Sheets battlefield. Hermone's exorcism for ghosts. But as she dressed, slipping out, doubt-seated, pawn or player, Vic's web quivered. Hale's death rippled. News helicopters buzzing. Fed circling. Midday meet. Vic's club. Tension thick as fog. Marco sullen. My run. Your mess. Eddie nursing coffee. Lena impassive. Vic slid a scotch. Feds got Hale safe. Empty vial points nowhere. But whispers. Lay low. Whispers. My Leica itched. I snapped the table. Candida vipers. Vic noticed. Like grandpop. Cursed gift. Cursed.
Apt.
Evening.
Burner buzz. Tommy.
Meet me.
Mill.
No gun. Trap. Temptation. I went. .38 tucked. Mill's shadows long. Rain spitting. Tommy waited. Crutch gait. Jaw unwired but bruised plum. Truce.
Hermano.
Vic's using you. Like you used Dad?
He winced.
I skimmed.
Yeah.
But Hale, he was the leak. Feds paid him. Your hit saved us.
Saved.
Delusion. Lena's in your bed, and Vic's books. Whole town's run. Tommy stepped close. Breath mint over painkillers. Then burn it.
But smart.
I gotta play Vic's casino bid. Tomorrow council vote. Bribe list in his safe. Steal it. Leak to press. Alliance? Judas offering grace. Why help now? Because you're me at 20, blind rage. Grip tightened. Don't end like your dad. Dad. The pivot. I nodded. Plan forming.
Infiltrata Vic's baúl.
Grab the ledger. With Riley's USB. Apocalypse. But as Tommy limped away, Marco's shadow detached from girders, watcher. Trust's fragile film. Easily fogged. Vic's vault squatted in the warehouse basement. A concrete bunker behind a retinal scanner and keypad, paranoia etched in steel. Tommy's intel. Code from a drunken slip. 6712, Grandma's birthday. Ironic tombstone. I cased it solo. Night ops. Black ops training from the core kicking in, ghillie light in coveralls. Face camoed with ash. Guards patrolled lazy. One scrolling TikTok. Other vaping. Amateurs. Slip in at 0200. Fog machine from Halloween masking steps. Retinal? Fake eye from Eddie's kit, gelatin mold. Vic's print lifted from a glass.
Click.
Keypad beeped green. Inside, climate-controlled crypt. Ledgers shelved like grimoires. Server humming digital sins. The bribe book, full leather. Handwritten, Vic's scrawl listing council hacks.
Dollar amounts.
Favors owed. Pages flipped. Hale's yacht payment. DA's consulting fee. Even the sheriff's kids' tuition. Enough to torch the town. I photographed each spread. Like a shutter, whisper quiet. Film advancing like a heartbeat. But deeper shelves beckoned. Archived files. Yellowed. Harlan folder, Grandpa's. Opened it, not just photos, but letters. Grandma's script. Pre-murder. Dearest Ray. The books are wrong.
Big Sterling Schulz.
For Tommy's sake. Stop. Grandpa's reply. Ink smudged tears. Too deep.
Love.
They'll come for us. Then. The kicker. A coroner's report. Falsified Dad's death. Not OD. But strangulation.
Staged.
Signatory. Eddie Kowalski. Then detective. Accidental asphyxiation. It lied. No clipped. Vic clean.
Eddie.
The fix. Fixer indeed. Rage simmered. But time ticked. Guards rounds. I pocketed a flash drive copy. Slipped out.
Fogveling escape.
Dawn at the safe house. Negatives drying in the bathroom darkroom I jury-rigged. Trays from cells. Chemicals mail-ordered. Prints emerged. Ledger ghosts. Stark as X-rays. Paired with USB.
It was dynamite.
Leaked to Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
Anonymous, boom.
But Tommy's play nagged. Smart. Direct hit on Vic risk splashback. Instead, anonymous drops. Feds get digital. Press the prints. Polarize the town. Heroes versus villains. Me the Phantom. Phone shattered the quiet. Lena.
Big spooka.
Guards say breach. He's calling a meet tonight. The club. Bring your A-game.
A-game.
Loaded .45. Tucked ledger copy in boot. Drove hairpin roads. Radio static spewing talk. Hails suicide trending. Whispers of foul play. Milford stirred. Beast awakening. Club was fortress. Valets swapped for bruisers. Metal detectors beeping paranoia. Vic in the booth. Scotch sweating. Circle tight. Eddie fidgeting. Marco chain-smoking. Lena pale under makeup. Harlan.
Seat. No hello.
Breach confirmed. Someone's in the vault. Eyes swiveled. Mine impassive.
Marco Growled.
Feds. Or insider. Vic's gaze bored mine.
You.
New blood.
Motive.
Me. Laugh edged. Grandpa's ghost?
Nah.
I'm your dog now. Eddie shifted. Sweat beading. Could be Tommy. Mouthy fucker.
Tommy. Deflection?
Lena's foot nudged mine under table. Signal?
Warning?
Vic leaned in. Voice silk over razor. Test time.
Jack.
Casino vote tomorrow. Hale's seat vacant. Proxy's a patsy. But feds circling. Need a diversion. Folder slid. Target photo. Young reporter, Samantha Sam Keller. Post-Gazette investigative.
Digging Union Corruption.
Scare her off. Rough. But no marks. Message back off. Intimidation. Line crossed. But toehold.
Done.
Marco drove me to her Squirrel Hill walk-up. Dawn gilding brownstones. She buzzed in trash bags. Ponytails swinging. Earbuds blasting indie.
Door IR schluppy.
I slipped in. Heart thundering ethics. Kitchen, coffee brewing. Laptop open to notes. Langford, docs. Sam turned. Shriek muffled by my glove. Quiet. Vic says hello. Terror bloomed. Eyes wide.
Please.
I have a daughter.
Daughter.
Flash. My unborn what-ifs with Lena. I backed her against fridge. Voice gravel. Drop the story. Or next visitor's permanent. She nodded frantic. Tears streaking. But as I retreated, her hand darted. Phone. Recording. Got you, asshole.
Fuck.
I snatched it. Smashed on tile. Stupid girl.
Out.
Marco waiting. Clean? As virgin snow. But guilt gnawed. A developer eating emulsion. Sam Keller, crusader or chum. Her daughter's face, imagined, haunted the drive back. Afternoon haze. I met Tommy at the mill again. Crutches ditched. Jaw healing crooked. Got the ledger? Snapped it. Passed a print stack. Eddie's the forger. Dad strangled. Tommy paled. Christ. Eddie was my CI, fed intel for Vic's protection. Layers peeled infinite. Leak plan. USB to feds via dead drop.
Print sto sam keller.
Her. Tommy barked laugh. Vic's mark? Ballsy. Necessary. Resolve hardened. Meet at midnight. Old trestle. Torch the evidence after. He nodded. Grip firm. Brothers. Fractured but fused. Evening devolved. Vic's celebration dinner. Club private room. Champagne popping premature. Lena cornered me in the hall. Lips brushing ear. Sam called, tip line.
She's got wind.
Abort. Too late. Marco's text, trouble. Guards found breach cam, your shadow. Betrayal's bloom.
Eddie.
Or Vic testing. I bolted. But bruisers blocked, Marco's cousins.
Ruisinek.
Vic wants chat. Dragged to back office. Zip tied to chair. Vic entered slow. .357 gleaming. Grandpop's camera. Kutaprop. He dangled a negative strip, my vault shots. Swiped somehow. Game over. Kid. Eddie smirked doorway. Told you, hot-headed. Lena absent.
Tommy?
Unknown. Vic pressed barrel to temple. Why? Family, I spat. You slaughtered mine. Collateral. Trigger tensioned. Any last.
Door exploded. Tommy.
Shotgun booming. Marco's chest blooming red. Not today. Boss. Chaos. Eddie diving. Shots cracking. I wrenched free. .45 barking, Eddie down.
Gurgling.
Beak flat. Stairs pounding. Tommy untied.
Grim.
Lena tipped. Said you were cracking.
Lena.
The blade. We pursued. Mill warehouse hybrid. Shadows dancing gunfire.
Big kurnarat kawalk.
Rain lashing through rust holes. You both die traitors. Shot exchanged, his grazed Tommy. Mine winged arm. He teetered. Railing buckling. Grandpa begged once. Mercy. No seconds. Plunge. Body crumpling 30 feet.
Vetschmeck.
Empire's king. Fallen. Panting. Tommy clapped shoulder. It's over.
No.
Sirens wailed. Lena's Audi idled perimeter. Escape? Betrayal's echo. We ran. But Twist waited. Her passenger. Sam Keller.
Alliance?
Milford burned metaphorical. My revenge. Half-developed. The aftermath crashed like a breaker on my skull. Vic's corpse zippered in the Monongahela. Trawled up dawn by state police as accidental fall during altercation. Official narrative. Gang war spillover.
Ruiz faction UBS.
Langford remnant. Tommy and I vanished into the Highland safe house. Shutters drawn. Radio crackling conspiracy theories. Wounds throbbed, grazes bandaged hasty. But the real bleed was trust. Hemorrhaging from every vein. Tommy paced the A-frame's knotty pine. Crutches retired, but limp lingering. Lena's ghosting.
Phone dead.
Vic's crew scattering like roaches. Lena. Her name soured. Last night's betrayal fresh. Tip to Tommy. But for what? Redemption or redirection? I glimpsed her with Sam through rain-streaked glass.
Adventure Jean.
She's playing angles. Always has. He slumped on the sectional. Face gaunt under fluorescent. My fault. Dragged her in. After you shipped out. She was anchor, kept me from the bottle.
Pause.
Eyes distant Fallujah sands.
But Vic.
He owned her. Books balanced blood.
Blood.
The ledger prints mocked from the table. Incriminating ghosts. We leak now, feds bury Vic's death. But the empire crumbles. Council indicted. Docs seized. Tommy nodded slow. And us? Heroes or hitmen? Question polarized. Mirror to the town's fracture. Milford Post on loop. Langford legacy. Corruption or community pillar. Editorial split. Blue-collar holdouts mourning. Jobs creator. Yuppies cheering cleanup.
Me?
Avenger in exile. Hand-stained Hale's pills. Riley's slugs. Eddie's lead. Burner buzzed unknown. Lena's text, trestle.
Now. Come alone.
Trap's perfume. Tommy protested, shotgun, but I waved him off. Endgame. Trestle bridge sagged over the river. Our boyhood, oath spot. Rails rusted to ochre. Moon silvered the girders. Water chuckling below like hyenas. Lena waited midspan. Trench coat billowing. Cigarette glow cherry and dark. No Sam. Jack. You sold me out. .45 drawn. Casual. To Vic. Then Tommy. Who's next? She exhaled smoke riverward. Survival. Vic had tapes, me cooking books. Tommy's schemes. Leverage. Step closer. Heels clicking steel. But you.
Killing him.
Reckless. Justice. Wind whipped. Carrying distant mill hum. Ghost industry. Justice. Laugh brittle. Grandma was no saint. Affair with Vic's old man. That's how Ray got in. Debts piled. She confessed wrong bed. Revelation staggered. Negative flipped. Your grandpa snapped. Blade for betrayal. Betrayal cycle. Burboros. And the kid? Uncle Tom. Wrong place. Saw too much. Her eyes glistened. Regret?
Then?
I leaked to Sam for immunity. Feds cut deal. Testify. Walk. Immunity. The polarizer. And us? Loose ends. She closed gap. Hand on mine. Gun lowering unwilling.
Run.
Mexico. Islands. Tommy's out. Too broken.
But you.
Fire left. Temptation's whisper. Her lips salt-kissed. But Tommy's shadow detached from abutment, unbidden backup. Lena. Tension snapped. She recoiled. You brought him. Family. His .38 mirrored mine. Sirens faint, feds? Press? She bolted. Coat flapping raven wings. We let her. Bridge emptying echo. Back at cabin. Plan finalized. Dead drop USB at bus station locker. Anonymous note to FBI Pittsburgh. Prince mailed Gazette. Postmark Philly. By noon. Ripples hit. Headlines screaming Langford scandal. Bribes. Bodies. Council resignations dominoed. DA perp walked on live TV. But blowback swift. Marco's remnant. Ruiz cousins. Kicked door at dusk.
Knock.
Tommy barricaded kitchen. Shotgun roar. I flanked window. .45 picking targets. 2 down. Third fleeing taillights. Tommy slumped. Gut shot. Blood pooling plaid.
Go.
Leak it. Brother. Pressure on wound. Futile. Tell Lena.
Sorry.
Gasp. Eyes glazing. Grandpa was right. Develop right. He stilled. Hand limp. Loss hollowed. Deeper than Vic's plunge. I torched the cabin. Evidence pyre, slipping into night. Leica's last roll Tommy's portrait. Serene. Finally free. Philly drop executed. Ghosting Amtrak West. News feeds exploded. Milford mob bust. 20 arrested. Lena's face flashed. Presser podium. Tear streaked. Victim turned witness. Immunity bought. But eyes haunted. My eyes.
Polarity peaked, forum raged.
Was Langford Robin Hood or racketeer? Blue collars mourn jobs lost. White's collars toasted reform.
Me?
Cipher. Unindicted co-conspirator. Dad's true heir. Weeks blurred. Motels from Pittsburgh to Denver. Cash dwindling.
Ghosts multiplying.
Sal called once, burner to burner. Heard whispers. Your role. Legend now. Hung up. Chuckling crypt. Final twist brewed in a Taos diner.
Schagebrush vast.
Anonymity thin. Waitress slid coffee. Harlan? From the news? Heart seized. But her smile sly. Sam Keller. Incognito. Notebook peeking. Tracked you. Feds want chat. Feds. Or press. Pen poised. Your story, the camera. The revenge. Pulitzer bait. Choice. Silence or scripture. I slid the Leica across Formica. Empty now. But vessel. Develop it yourself. Truth's subjective. She pocketed it. Nod solemn. Fair. Diner door jingled. I vanished into desert. Wind erasing steps. Revenge's arc bent. Not broken, happy? Tragic? You decide. But in quiet miles. Tommy's voice lingered. Develop right.
I had.
Or tried. Milford receded. But scars itched. Eternal negative. Exile suited me ill. The open road from Pennsylvania to the southwest was a blur of neon motels and all-night diners, where truckers swapped tall tales and I nursed black coffee like absolution. The leak had detonated. FBI raids on dawn of the casino vote.
Schwarzstacking Big's warehouse.
Headlines screaming empire of rust. Langford's fall. 27 indicted, including the sheriff who'd signed Dad's lie. Lena's testimony sealed it. Prim ancien. Voice steady. I saw the ledgers. The bodies. It ends today. Hero to some. Rat to others. Polarity's perfect storm. Milford's Facebook groups fracturing into Vic was visionary versus. Burn the bastards. But Tommy clung to life. Airlifted to UPMC. Gut-stitched but infection raging. I watched from a payphone booth in Ohio. Anonymous call to his room. Hang on.
Hermano.
His whisper crackled. Lena. Baby. Yours?
Or. Click. Dead air.
Baby? Lena's night at the safe house. Reckless heat. Timing fit. Paternity's grenade. Pin pulled. I floored the Ford West. Dust devils chasing. Radio preaching Coachella Valley as next boomtown. Irony. Vic's ghost in real estate ads. Taos by week's end. Adobe sprawl under Sangre de Cristo peaks. Artist haven hiding fugitives.
I crasht er hibi co-op.
Bartering darkroom skills for bunk and beans. Sal's Leica earned rent. Portraits of crystal gazers. Their eyes holding more secrets than Vic's vault. But nights. Negatives developed in a shed lab self-portraits.
Gaunt.
Eyes hollow as the pit. Sam Keller found me third week. Jeep Wrangler kicking red dirt. Her ponytail traded for Bob. Notebook eternal. Jack Harlan. The shadow behind the scandal. I leaned on porch rail. 0.45 in waistband. Fed send you. Independence. Book deal pending. She lit a clove. Offering. Your angle, the camera. Revenge porn or redemption arc. Both. Win side pinion. Carrying sage and sin. Grandpa's gift. Expose or explode. We talked till stars wheeled. Her digging Samoan roots inhales corruption. My sandbox scars from '08 surge. Common ground. Betrayal's bite. Lena contacted me, she said casual. After the drop. Said you were key. Gave me the plates, your tags.
Lena.
Guiding hand or Judas Redux. And the baby? Sam's brow arched. News to me. Tommy knows. Dying whisper. Gut twisted. If mine. Legacy cursed. Harlan blood. Blade sharp. Dawn brought decision. Return. Face the music. Claim or condemn. I packed the Leica. Negatives bundled. Ford's tank full. Eastbound. Heart freighted heavier than the Rust Belt. Pittsburgh's skyline loomed gray. Monongahela churning secrets. Hospital first. Tommy in ICU. Machines beeping lifeline. Lena at bedside. Hand possessive on swell. 4 months. Undeniable. She startled at my shadow. Jack. Truth. Voice low. Monitors mocking. Tommy stirred. Forerattled. Paternity.
Test.
Vic forced. Her with me. Cover. Cover. Lena's eyes brimmed. After you left the club. Beaks, bunding. Tommy watched insurance. Rage supernova. Vic's final fuck you. Puppeteer to the grave.
Mine.
She nodded faint. Test confirms. But Tommy's raising. Stability. Stability. Chains gilded. Tommy rasped.
Take her. Run.
Town's poison. Lena recoiled.
No.
This is home. Polar clash. Her anchor. His release. My flight. I stormed out. Corridors blurring fury. Feds waited in lobby, suits crisp. Badges glinting. Jack Harlan. We need your statement. Interrogation room. Fluorescent hell. Coffee styrofoam bitter.
Agent Ruiz, Nori Laschen.
Irony, lean Latina with cop eyes. Langford hit. You and Tommy Ruiz. Self-defense. Leica on table. Prop or proof. Photos tell it. They flipped the roll, vault candids. My shadow damning. This you? Ghost. Truth half-spun. Vic confessed. Pulled trigger in fear.
Ruiz leaned.
Sent lavender over law.
Lena Ruiz corroborates.
Says you saved her. Vic's threats.
Saved.
Narrative shifted. Heroes capel fit. And Tommy. Recovering. Will testify.
Pause.
Baby's yours. Paternity bomb diffused public. But private? Irrelevant. They cut deal. Immunity for full ledger. My candid ceding the case. Walk free. But watched. Disappear recommended, Ruiz advised. Remnants bitter. Remnants. Marco's cousins. Ruiz ink unbled. I nodded. Signing lies. Outside. Rain lashed, tropical depression. Weather gods weeping. Tommy discharged week later. Lena hovering. Baby bump barrier. Mill visit. Our oath spot. Trestle groaning. Go, he urged. Crutch-free but frail. Raise it right.
No blades.
Brother. Embrace iron.
Rustflecht.
You too. Ditch the poison. He grinned crooked.
Lena's staying.
Anchor. Her hand on belly. Eyes mine question. Decide. Jack. I chose. Walk. Forward east.
West.
South to border. New negative blank. But twists cruel. Dash cam caught tail. Black SUV. Ruiz plates. Ambush on 376. Bullets pinging steel. I swerved. .45 returning fire. Shattering windshield. Crash-landed embankment. Ford smoking ruin. Bruised. Bleeding. I crawled Trilene.
Pursuers fanning.
Marco's cousin, Javier, barking Spanish curses. Harlan. For the boss. Like a clutch talisman. I snapped the hunt. Exposures of hunters. Irony's lens. Then ambush reversed. Feds? No, Sam. Jeep roaring. Shotgun from passenger. Lena?
No. Tommy.
Shotgun wetted.
Blastfeld Javier.
Others scattering. Pickup screech halt. Get in.
Tires punmud.
Escape narrow.
How?
Tommy grinned. Lena called. Said save him. Baby's father. Or brother's ghost. Highway bled adrenaline. Dawn gilding escape. Where to? Canada. Fresh start.
Pause.
For all.
All.
Polar end. Family fractured. Reforged in fire. But Lena's text pinged. Baby Harlan Ruiz. Yours to claim.
Claim.
The debate eternal. Canada's border blurred into evergreen anonymity. A cabin rental near Thunder Bay, lakefront. Wood stove crackling against November chill. Ontario's vastness swallowing American sins. Tommy healed slow. Scars mapping gut like rivers on a map. While I pace logs. Leica's shutter clicking compulsively. Exposures of frost-rimed pines. Tommy's profile etched wind. The unborn's ultrasound print Lena mailed. Tiny fist. Harlan jaw hinted. Paternity confirmed lab sealed. But possession? Elusive as f-stop in fog. News from South filtered via VPN. Milford's purge complete. Langford assets seized. Loft stalled. Docks dry-docked under federal watch. Lena's testimony lionized. Whistleblower mom-to-be. Her book deal with Sam Keller brewing shadows on the Mon. Dual memoir. My ghost-ridden shadow. Polar rifts endured. VFW toasts to Vic's legacy. Union Hall's spray-painting traders out. Controversy's gift. Town cleaved.
But alive.
Debating demons over diner hash. Lena visited once. Border hop by train. Belly rounding winter coat. Cabin air thick unspoken. He's yours, she said. Hand on swell. But Milford's mine. Anchor. Chains, I countered. Coffee steaming. Tommy's silent by stove. Poker face schooled. She traced my knuckles, scarred from Tommy's jaw. Hale's throat. Redemption's not running. Raise her there.
Héroes sont. Daughter.
The words softened edges. Hero, I developed death. Developed truth. Her kiss farewell. Lingering cinnamon. Come home. Home. Milford's rust called. But Canada's quiet tempted. Tabula rasa.
No pits. No layers.
Tommy broke silence post-departure. Let her go. We burned enough.
We.
Brothers mended. But fractures ached.
Nights.
We fished the lake. Lines cutting black water. Stories spilling like bait. His Fallujah confessions, sand ghosts. Buddy's face under rubble. My surge. Convoy ambush. Kid insurgents' eyes pleading before trigger. Vic was our war, he mused. Trout flopping deck. We won. Lost. Won? Empire-esh. But cost. Dad's staged noose. Grandma's razor smile. Uncle Tom's lime grave. Polar legacy, justice jagged. Not clean. Spring thawed resolve. I returned solo. Ford traded for beater Civic. Crossing at Buffalo like prodigal. Milford unchanged. Mills skeletal. But community gardens sprouting in lots.
Vic's Shadow fertilise.
Sal's photo lab first stop. Sign flipped open. His grin gap-toothed. Prodigal. Develop this. Handed a envelope. Lena's gift. Fresh roll from the Leica, candid of Milford rising. Kids planting. Her hand on belly amid blooms. She's waiting, Sal winked. Towns too.
Town.
I drove Oak Hill. Tommy's split-level light warm. He answered door. Lena beside. Newborn swaddled. Elena Marie Harlan Ruiz. Blue eyes mine. Dark curls his. Hybrid hope. Welcome, Lena breathed. Babe cooing. Polar embrace. Forgiveness fraught. But forged. Tommy clapped back. Family's messy negative. Develop anyway. Years blurred. I reopened the mill as co-op. Darkroom collective. Youth snapping stories. Not sins. Elena grew fierce. Camera in chubby fists by 5.
Asking grandpa tale sanitised.
Lena's book hit MIT list. Proceeds seeding scholarships. Shadows sparking debates in poli-sci classes. Vigilante right or mob justice wrong. Twists debate lingered. Was I avenger or enabler? Vic's fall saved Milford. But birthed voids, jobs vacuumed. Families fractured. Protests flared. Langford Lives Matter bumper stickers on Harleys. Counter with no more Pitts murals. One dusk. Elena tugged my sleeve at the trestle. Our new oath spot.
Daddy.
Why'd you fight Uncle Tommy? Truth's aperture. Love.
Kid.
Ugly kind. She nodded sage. Snapping me with toy Leica. Develop right. Grandpa's echo. Perfected. I smiled. Shudder clicking life anew. Revenge's arc closed. Not happy. Not tragic. Debate's domain. Yours to judge. Fade to grain. Milford's river runs. Secrets submerged. But light finds the dark. The end.